So, okay, we're recording. Today is Thursday, August 13th, and we've got Miss Shana Turney here to talk to you guys way over on the East Coast. I'm going to let her just go ahead and take over, and we'll just get going. So hang out with us till the end, and we'll do a little drawing.
Okay. So first, just thank you, Anna, for having me on. I would be lying if I said I'm not just a little bit nervous, but we all know nothing good comes from our comfort zone. So I'm here. I'm going to do this. And I want to start with this quote. And it's kind of based on this whole mindset, and I'm going to throw a little bit of Facebook party stuff in there and just overall business. Good enough isn't good enough if it can be better, and better isn't good enough if it can be best. Okay, so I say this because sometimes we don't live up to our full potential. We don't do everything that we know that we are capable of doing because of mindset. Mindset is a powerful thing. It's the most important thing, not just in life itself, but especially in this business. Your mindset's either going to be your greatest superpower or it's going to be your biggest prison. So let me just kind of give you a little bit of backstory, give you my Cincy journey, and I promise it's going to all come full circle. So I am Shana Turney. I am star director for #BAM, the Wickless Collective, and BAM stands for Build, Applaud, Motivate. That's what my teams stand for. I've just celebrated my 6th centiversary on August 8th. So I joined in August of 2014, and I hit my first 2,000 month in November of 2014. Okay, so here's where the mindset plays in. I hit 2,000 PRVY because it was November. That's going to be for my December check. At the time, I was a government employee. I worked for my local district attorney's office at the county. My husband was also a county employee at our neighboring county. And if you've ever worked for the government or at a county, city, or whatever it may be, you know, the raises that you get, you only get because they say this is what you're going to get. It's not based off of your performance. It's based off of you're going to get 2, 3, or 5%. You're lucky if you're going to get 7. So me being brand new, I had done direct sales before. Nothing stuck with me like Cincy because duh, it's Cincy, right? So I just heard you get 2,000 in 1 month, you get a 5% bonus, you make 30% commission, you are guaranteed at least $600 check. Both of us being county employees, we didn't have a whole lot of extra money. I wanted this money to go strictly for my kids for Christmas. My daughter is now 20. She's off at college. My son is 13. He still lives at home. And I wanted to be able to give them extra things. So I'm like, I'm going to do this. I don't remember how I did it. I just did it. But I didn't have another 2,000 month until September of 2015, 10 months later. Okay, so I am my sponsor's only recruit. You heard me right. I am my sponsor's only recruit. She, God bless her, she is one of my friends, but she's never done anything for me. I didn't have a whole lot of help from my upline. So I've kind of figured myself out along the way. And I was taught in the beginning that December, all the J months, the spring season, and Facebook parties are shit. None of that works. Those months are slow. December's slow because it's Christmas. January's slow because people are trying to recruit from what they spent on the holidays. June, people are on vacation. July, people are getting their kids ready to go back to school. No one wants to buy, okay? No one wants to buy. And Facebook parties, don't even try them because Facebook parties don't work, okay? So this is what I'm told. So I bought into the reality of other people's experiences. I listened to them hype up the J months, that J months suck, they're not good, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. So I didn't even try. I didn't even try. I went off of their experience. Maybe Facebook parties didn't work for them because they didn't host coach. Maybe they couldn't get people to host parties for them because they didn't ask. Why couldn't they get any sales in January? Did they not ask enough people? Did they not do customer follow-ups? Was their customer service not good? This is all things that you need to think about. Looking back now, I know this, but at the time, I'm just wanting to get started. I hit shooting star right off the bat. I got sensational start level 1. So shout out to the girl on here who just hit level 3, because you're awesome. But I didn't have that you should do this, you should do that. It was all negative. Like, this is bad. This doesn't work. This is not going to work. So I bought into all of that. I built up a pretty good local to me customer base. I ran off of bag parties. I ran off of the people that I worked with. I worked at the district attorney's office. I worked with high paid prosecutors. I worked with defense attorneys who make money. I networked with them. That's where I got the majority of my sales. So I could, and I still can, have a month of 2,000 PRV without having any parties. But I was working way too hard, okay? So let me just fast forward a little bit. 4 years into my journey, our financial situations changed. My husband started his own business, and he told me, quit your job. I was like, yeah, I'm not. I wanted to, but I was super nervous, super scared. I talked to one of my mentors, one of my really good friends, Superstar Director Shana Davis, and she walked me through it. She said, do it. Yes, I know. If anyone can do it, I know it's you. So I leached onto her and I listened to every single thing that she told me. And embarrassingly enough, I still wasn't doing Facebook parties. So for the last 2 years, I've been a full-time consultant. I flipped my mindset. I flipped everything. I started working on a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. Because, you know, when I first started, I had everyone saying this, this, and this. I was buying into their belief that it didn't work for them. So why is it going to work for me? So I implemented personal development. If you're not doing personal development, you should be, whether it's looking up quotes on Google in the morning. Sometimes I will wake up, depending on how I feel, I will look up motivational. If I'm trying to earn an award, or if I'm trying to smash a goal, I'm going to look up goal-oriented quotes, and it gets me pumped up. It gets me going. And then I throw on Trent Shelton straight up podcast. And if you're not listening to that, you need to listen, because he is gold, and it gets me pumped up. It gets my mind in the right mindset of the things that I need to do for myself and to help my team and to be better, give better customer service to my customers and everything. So embarrassingly enough, I went all this time not really doing Facebook parties. Facebook parties at the time were done on events. You couldn't schedule. They were hard. The way I was taught was very difficult, and it stressed me out, and I would cry and I'd be like, I'm doing all of this. Yes, Trent Shelton, it's called Straight Up Podcast. I'm doing all of this. I'm not getting any sales. My hosts aren't interacting. My guests aren't interacting. And I'm like, this really doesn't work. I hate this. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to stick to the bag parties because I give it to them and that's it. But when you do Facebook parties, you are able to build a relationship with these people on social media. Now they're allowed to follow you. You can follow them. You can build that even more. So, like I said, we almost this whole time
waiting for the new season, people were like dying, waiting for the
And in November of 2019, I'm at the gym with my son at basketball practice. He's 13. He just turned 13 this year. He is nearly 6 foot tall. If we're not at home, we're at a basketball gym somewhere. So I'm thinking, okay, it's November. I want a bomb-ass paycheck for Christmas because this is just what I do now. And it's my job. I need to step outside of my comfort zone, and I need to get back into Facebook parties. My frontline director is military, and that's all she does is Facebook parties. Obviously, they move. She has customers from coast to coast. She doesn't really do, like, we're kind of opposite of each other. And she said, I don't know why you're not doing Facebook parties. And I said, because I don't like them. She said, when was the last time you did one? I don't know. And if you can't answer that, it's been way too long, okay? Like legit way too long. So I was like, okay, invite me to one of your Facebook groups. Let me see what you do. I'm rolling my eyes the whole time like, I don't want to do this. And then I'm at the gym and it hits me. And I'm like, Jason, I got it. And he was like, what are you doing? Because I've got my notebook, I've got my pen, I've got my phone, and I start making this list. And he was like, what are you doing? I said, I've got it. Just shh. And I'm writing all this stuff down. I remember one of my girlfriends, she's a unique consultant, representative, whatever they call themselves, and they did a battle of the hostess. She asked me to be one of her hostesses. And if you won this battle, you got like a $300 basket full of makeup. I don't even care what's in this basket. I am competitive by nature and I want to win that damn basket. This is what we're doing. And I did. I won. Out of like 7 or 8 hostesses, I won. So I'm like, I'm going to take that and I'm going to Scentsify this. I'm going to make it my own. So I wrote out a little message to send to my potential hostesses. And you know, the thing about parties is the word party scares people. And I said, let's do a battle of the elves because it's November. It's right before Christmas. So I did. Everything in there was themed. Orders were not orders. Orders were gifts leaving your elf's workshop. Whichever elf got the most gifts out of their workshop won the battle. And I offered them a special incentive, a one-on-one, communicated, of course, not on social media. And I host coach them. And I'm scared to death. I'm like, everyone always says host coach, but I really don't know. I just really don't know what to do. So I created a Facebook group or a chat and I coached them all together. I wanted them to learn each other. I wanted them to get to know each other. And all 3 of these women, I know them personally and I know they're uber competitive. So I'm like, this is going to be gold. I'm so excited. I'm nervous. I'm doing all these fun things. And every time they got an order, I would place it and I would do an update every single day. That battle alone was nearly $1,800. So this was at the beginning of November and I'm like, we about to do this again. I'm lit, I'm on fire. Like, I'm super excited again. I'm like, Facebook parties, they work. You know why they worked? Because I woke up and I made those notes. I came up with this idea and I said, this is going to work. You are going to make this work. I went into it with the mindset of, I can do this. I will make this happen. And this is how I'm going to do it. So I reached out to another set of hosts. I had 3 more hostesses for the battle number 2. I had nearly 5,000 PRV in November just from these battles because I flipped my mindset. In December, I didn't do any Facebook parties. I had my 2,000, but that was about it. And it was kind of scrounging just to get there. My point is, do the parties. We are a home, or we're a party-based business. If you're not having people host for you, if you're not hosting all the parties yourself, you are doing yourself an injustice. If you think that you can't do it, YouTube it. There are a plethora of Scentsy Facebook groups out there that show you how to do parties. I'm sure Anna has stuff that she could help you guys with. Someone on here I know is amazing at Facebook parties. So whatever you do, make something that works for you, but don't buy into the beliefs from other people that December's suck, that the J months suck, that the spring catalog season doesn't work, because that's hogwash. You know why? Because Scentsy just had its best spring season in the entire 16 years of Scentsy. And if you experience that, you're still like, what just happened? Like, it was crazy. Active in April, like, will bring you to tears just thinking about it. It was insane. I had a second gen director promote to star director in freaking July, like that in July, in a J month, no less. A J month that people say don't work, but they do work. That J month just didn't work for them. So just because it doesn't work for them doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. I was super nervous to step out of my comfort zone and go back to doing the Facebook parties, because I allowed myself to believe for so long that Facebook parties were no good and that I could not do them. And the difference is, I woke up saying, you're going to do this. You're going to make this happen. This is how you're going to do it. So I came up with something that was comfortable for me. I made the parties more personable. I built those relationships. I reached out to them personally as soon as they placed an order. I tagged them on social media. I just started building those relationships, and it's completely changed my entire business around. But you have to make this business what you want it to be. If you wake up in the morning, even on the days when you don't want to show up, because I promise you, there are days, and I know there are days that I don't want to show up. There are days that maybe I feel a little bit more depressed this day than I did the next day. And I know all of us feel this way. Sometimes we don't want to do it, but just show up anyways. When you're feeling like you don't have anything to offer, you do, because you're worthy and you are capable of doing anything that you want to do. And I say this to my team all the time. And this I'm fixing to bring up a hashtag that I've kind of been branded with. It's hashtag BAB, B-A-B. Right after I quit my job, Shana asked me to do a training on her, for her team. And I was like, I said, I'm not, Shana, I'm not doing that. And she was like, yes, you are. If I have to come to Texas, you are going to do it. And I'm like, no, not doing that. Why? Because I am not the same person I was when I quit my job 2 years ago. I walked out of my job August 16th, 2018, and I am completely different. And I also get emotional, so I apologize. But that's what this business does to you if you allow it. If you are passionate and you let it come through, you can do anything you want to do. I've now earned annual sales back to back. I've known all along. When I attended my very first Cincy family reunion in 2015 in Vegas, I watched those people walk the stage for the annual awards, annual sales and mentor. And I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I broke it down. Like I knew that's what needed to be done. I know that I needed a minimum 2,500 every single month from May to April to earn that award. But I didn't do it because I was still all up in here. And I've always believed in myself and I've always been confident, but I still think I didn't step outside of my comfort zone to try new things. I didn't just go for it and not care about the opinions of other people. I worked with all these people who had law degrees and they had this and they had that. And sometimes I felt like maybe they were looking at me like, oh, she's doing direct sales. She's going to quit for direct sales. Well, you know what? I make more than those people do now. So who cares? They're not paying my bills. People aren't paying your bills. So you have to not be afraid of the opinions of other people, and you just have to go for it. I've earned annual sales back to back because I worked and I got out of my own head and I said, hey, you can do this. I've pulled 5,000, and I don't say any of this to brag by any means, so please don't take it that way. But I've had 2 back-to-back Januaries of over 5,000 PRV in a month that I've been told you can't do, but I did back to back. And I plan to do it again this next January. And I told myself this year, I told myself for the longest time, you're not a very good recruiter. You're not going to do this and you can't do that. And I'm already halfway to earning annual mentor for the first time ever. And my goal is to earn it I'm speaking it into existence. Like I'm putting it out into the universe. It's written down on my wall. I see it every day. You're going to earn annual sales and you're going to earn mentor by December 31st. And it just so happens they threw the trip incentive. They threw our times off. So, hey, it all coincides. So it just works out perfectly, right? But I get up every day and I see this. So back to my story with Shana of I'm telling her team this, and I tell my team this all the time. Like I wake up in the morning, even on the days that I don't want to show up, and I look in the mirror and I say, you're a boss ass bitch and you're going to go make some shit happen today. Okay. So one of her teammates hashtagged Bab. She went on a recruiting spree. She went on a PRV spree and she went and did all the things. And Shana sent me a screenshot and she said, you did this. In that very moment, I was like, wow, somebody, like I inspired somebody, because to me that was still weird. Like I've always looked up to Anna, and for me, I've been nervous all day to come train for Anna Hughes' team. You know what I mean? Because she's Anna Hughes. She's amazing. And and well known in the Cincy world. You just are. Yes, you are. And I look up to her and I'm like, oh, Anna wants me to come train for her team. Okay. I hope I don't screw this up. But it's just one of those things where I've become confident in my abilities within this business and within myself. First and foremost, that's what this business does. If you don't get anything out of Cincy sales-wise, the least you could do is work on yourself and improve yourself, because that's what this business is about. This business is not just about the sales. This business is about learning to believe in yourself and then instilling that belief into others. There are sometimes I have people on my dream team list, and it is not because I want them on my team to make that extra income. It's because I need to help them with their confidence. That's what I look for when I'm trying to team build. And when I implemented Anna's frontline focus system, my business completely changed, and learn to focus on the people, but you have to learn to focus on yourself first. Everyone has something to offer to somebody else. Just be that 1%, and whatever you do, like, never settle for less. Never settle for just the good. Never settle for just being better. Like, go for best. Go for better than best. Like, whatever you do, go every single day and do that. And if you have to put sticky notes all up around your house, and you have to get the lipstick out or a dry erase marker and write on the mirror and say, you're a hashtag bad, you are enough, or passion fuels purpose, give yourself grace, reckless optimism, like this all right here on my wall that I see every single day, especially give yourself grace. This is the most important thing, because on the days where you feel like you are not worthy and you are not good enough, you are enough. You woke up, you did the things, maybe you inspired someone, maybe you inspired yourself. But whatever you do, you just have to show up and you just have to do it. Be that 1%. Just live to your full potential and be a Bab. Like, I don't care. You go hashtag that. I had a shirt made that said hashtag Bab the OG, because my entire team hashtags that all the time. Like, I'm it for my group. I'm the OG Bab because, you know, it just stuck, and it's on my chair. I don't know if y'all can see it. Shana sent me that vinyl after I got this new chair, and my little sign up there, it says I'm made for more. I remember this every single day. Like, I am made for more, and that's what this business is. This business is to bring out the best in you and for you to help bring out the best in others. And it's a blessing, never a burden. Like, this business is never a burden. You have to see who I can bless, who I can help, who can I help improve their lives. I mean, I guess that's really all that I have to say, but like, the whole mindset with the Facebook parties is I always told myself I couldn't do it. I always said those J months sucked. I always said the spring season sucked. Boss ass bitch. Whoever, yes, Aubrey, that, I love that right there. Yes. So it's just one of those things, like, you just have to go out and do it. Find what works for you, not what works for somebody else. I don't care what someone else says. There's things that Anna may do that I try, but it doesn't work for me. But that's cool, because we are our own unique people. But that doesn't mean you can't take snippets from here and there and piece something together for yourself. But whatever you do, don't just not do it. Don't be like me and go years not even trying Facebook parties because they don't work. Like, don't do that. Just try it a different way and find something that works for you. Like I said, I'm uber competitive by nature. So by competing other people against each other, it made me happy. And I knew they were competitive. I was very intentional with who I picked. And when I do battles, I am very intentional with who I ask, because I don't want someone who doesn't care. I need winners. Like, I need people that want to win and that want to get after that and get all the orders. Because, and another thing about Facebook parties is, if you're not hosting Facebook parties, you are not you're not expanding your customer base, which is going to allow you to find more hosts, which is going to allow you to find more teammates to join your team. The majority of my people that I have had join since May have come from either a Facebook party or a referral or someone stalking my Facebook, which, true story, she stalked my Facebook for a whole week and realized I'm the person that she thinks she needs to join under, because I put that vibe out there of that confidence and I am worthy and I can do that and I want to help others do the same thing. So whatever you do, just do it. Don't think too much about it, and just show up, because y'all are all some boss ass people, and I know you can do anything that you set your mind to, but don't ever settle for less, and don't buy into the beliefs that something doesn't work for somebody else. You have to make this work for yourself. So I'm going to say this again: good enough isn't good enough if it can be better, and better isn't good enough if it can be best. Always, always, always be the best version of yourself that you can be. I never thought when I clicked join 6 years ago that I would walk away from my government steady paycheck, same amount, every other Friday with some damn good benefits. That's the only thing that kind of hurts. I would have never thought that I would have presented at SFR last year. I would have never thought that my group would now be over 400 something people. I would have never thought I would be a star director, because I didn't have that confidence. I didn't have that mindset that you're a go-getter, you can do it. It doesn't matter what someone else's opinion of you is, because their opinion is none of your business. So this business has completely opened up things for my family that I would have never thought possible, and it can 1000% do the same for every single one of you. But you have to keep your mindset in the right spot. You have to remember that you are worthy and that you are capable and that you are a boss ass bitch, and you go make all the shit happen this fall season. And I guess that's all I have.
You like had me teary there for a little bit, which is crazy because I don't cry at all.
I'm a crier.
I just love you, and I just love your energy, and I'm so happy for you and everything you guys have accomplished since I've actually seen you in person since January, because Shana and I got to sit next to each other in Hawaii. And I basically no excused her in Hawaii, and she's like, come talk to my team. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she did. She Anna Hughes'd me in person.
But girl, I mean, honestly, you're not an excuse maker. You're not. You're somebody who steps up and does the things because you know what you want. And when we know what we want, that's the biggest thing, right? Like, mindset matters. But if you don't know where you're going, those two things really have to go together. So, yeah, I think that everything that you've delivered tonight was things that we all needed to hear. And I will be 100% transparent in saying I haven't done a Facebook party in probably a year, maybe more. So I need to hop back up onto that pony for sure.
I mean, especially with everything we have going on now, everyone's had to change everything with the way we operate. Some people were used to only doing events. Well, the world shut down on us, so you can't go to an event. How are you going to work your business? This is my full-time job. I have no other option except for to make this happen, because I pay my bills. Like, the deal was when I left the county was I pay our family bills, and insert income disclosure here, but I pay all of our household utilities, phone, everything. And along the way, I've started taking more away from my husband. The goal is I pay it all with my Cincy check, and I pay for all of basketball. And I don't know if you guys have any kids that play tournament ball, but that shit's expensive. It's expensive. And I want it to where I can pay for all of Braxton's stuff. If he wants a new pair of shoes, okay, I'm going to go buy them. Why? Because I can. Because I couldn't do that when my daughter was traveling the country playing softball. We had to pinch everything, and I don't want to do that anymore. And that's the mindset that I keep of, you have to do this. Like, this is what you do. You're good at it. Like, it's okay to tell yourself that you're good at something. you're not being conceited. You're not full of yourself. You're confident in your abilities because you're a badass, because you do the things and you show up every single day and you make it happen. So, and I try to instill that in my kids also. Like on the way to basketball, I make Braxton listen to Trent Shelton in the car. He may not always like it. Like, why are we listening to that again? He may roll his eyes, but I know he's listening, because one day I didn't have it on and he's like, oh, are we going to listen to that guy again? Oh, see, I know. You hear, you're listening. I know. So it's also important to do that personal development and just kind of to start implementing that into your life. And I promise you, it will change you. Like, it doesn't matter who you listen to or what books you read, as long as you're fueling your mind, every single day you're growing. And every single day that you grow, you're one step closer to whatever goal that you set. Even if the goal is this big, break it up into little increments. Like, I know earning those awards or earning this trip is not going to come overnight. You have to set those plans and then put those plans into action. Otherwise, you're just going to be here with a dream or a wish, and it's not going to go any further than that. But mindset plays everything. And I appreciate you guys listening to me. I could honestly go on and on and on, like my team. That's why I have to make notes, because if I don't, I just won't shut up.
She literally did show me pictures of her notes. Like, she's like, I'm ready. I was like, oh my God, you are ready. I love this. I'm so excited. So Vanessa had a couple questions about your Battle of the Hostesses party, because that's insane. $1,800 in one go. She was just saying, like, how does that work? Like, what's the setup look like for that? Like, they have their own individual Facebook parties, but you have one group, or?
Yes. Yeah, one big, okay, so what I did, one big massive group. Everyone had their own individual link, okay? So the first one is the Battle of the Elves. I did the same thing in March with the Leprechauns. For the Battle of the Elves, I went and found a little Santa hat, and I photoshopped it onto one of their pictures that I took from Facebook. So I pinned it to the top. I had all three of their pictures, and in the comment of their picture was their individual elf link. And at the end of every single day, I would give an elf update and said, let's say Elf Anna had 342 gifts go out of the workshop. I worded it something like that. So I never, in the entire thing, I never said the word order, and I never said the word party. It was all Battle of the Elves, gifts out of your workshop. So I did that update. And every time someone would place an order, I would make a post. I would put that elf's picture. I would tag the guest. I would tag the elf and say, thank you. And I would put real life pictures of what the people ordered. And I do that. And I do that on my regular parties now too. And I say that because the fear of the FOMO kicks in. Someone sees this warmer and they're like, ooh, I have to go get that. Like, I need that warmer too. So I would put their elf picture. I would put real life pictures of what they purchased and say, thank you so much for helping elf so-and-so. They now have 50 more gifts out of the workshop. And that number came from whatever the PRV on that order was. But I kept it very competitive. Like, they knew.
You could totally do that with Halloween and like witches that are casting spells, you know, like, this is how many spells that this witch casted today or something like that. That would be super fun.
Exactly. And right now you could do battles. I mean, because it's still, I mean, in Texas, it's hotter than hell. You could do like a beach theme, like who can collect the most seashells, like the most seashells in the bucket, and just Photoshop shells going inside a bucket, you know? But I kept the groups fun and I kept the groups entertaining. I did all the same party content that I would for a regular party, but I just did it all in one group. So all three elves were in there. I tagged them all day long. They were active. And I have one person who, she's hosted a regular party for me and she's hosted a battle. And she is the most competitive person, maybe even more so than me. And she was after her people. Like, someone would get an order for another elf or a leprechaun, and she'd get on there and she'd be like, oh, y'all better go order. And so it kept it going. So I think keeping it like the friendly competition going is what really builds it up. because everyone wants their elf to win, or their leprechaun, or their witch, or whatever it may be. Everyone wants to win. And what I also did was I would tell my hostesses to let their people know, like send them a message, hey, the winning elf, the winning leprechaun will get a special gift from Shana. Well, that special gift is a scent circle. If you order online for me, you're going to get the scent circle anyways. So they don't necessarily know that unless they've ordered from me before, but if they have, oh well, you're still going to get a scent circle. I didn't do anything extra, but them thinking, oh, I'm going to get a free gift. I'm going to get something free. I'm going to get something extra, you know, whatever it may be. People want free. I don't care who you are. Everybody wants free and everyone wants to win. So that's how I kept it friendly. And then the winning elf, I also would give them, like a goodie bag. And for Christmas, it was all Christmas themed, like funny Santa sunglasses and like, I don't know. I honestly, I go on Amazon and I'll Google Christmas party favors and buy like the little kitty pack and just throw some stuff in there. If I know they have kids, I'm going to throw them a little extra and put a note in there like, hey, this is for Johnny, this is for Susie, whatever it may be. And for the leprechaun battle, I did the same thing, but it was all St. Patty's Day stuff. Vanessa asked if the hostesses get discouraged when they don't win. Do you give them a free participation for gift? The little pack, I ended up giving to everybody anyways. But I did give, so the winning elf, I gave them a free mini warmer or a free whatever, and I just utilized the perpetual party reward. I'm out $10. They get a free warmer on top of the goodie bag that they got. Honestly, I did have one get kind of shady with me. And I ended up like archiving that group because I can't even believe it was insane. I remember I was sitting in the chair and I was almost in tears. She was so ugly. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like I don't know. She was like, well, I should have had this and I should have had that. And I was like, it's Cincy. You're fixing to get free Cincy anyways, because her party was over 500. I'm like, I said, literally, you won the jackpot. You get $75 in free stuff. What, you know what I mean? So back to being intentional with your host, with who you pick. Like, I didn't follow up with her. I didn't follow up with any of her people because I don't need that negativity in my life. She was very ugly to me, and it almost made me not want to ever do it again. But I'm not going to let that one bad apple keep me from being great. She was just a bad seed.
Right, because your mindset rocks.
I try to keep it that way. But yeah, so not really. I wouldn't say anyone really gets discouraged. But as long as you keep it fun and you let them know, like, your party was so amazing. You're getting 75 in free, and they all ended up being over 500. So they all got the minimum 75 in free credit. And then I sent them the extra goodie bag. So even if they were pissed off at me, they never said anything except for the one.
So just to be clear, so if you had 3 different hosts, they weren't battling for the collective host rewards. They were each getting their own host rewards. This was just for like a little something extra. And yep. Like, you know, the bragging rights for the fact that I freaking won, because I'm super competitive too. And that would totally like suck me in. That would totally suck me in.
Yeah, strictly for the bragging rights. And now the winning one, I did utilize the perpetual party reward, and I paid for that myself. Like the other, I always give that extra half price item to my hostesses anyways, but instead of her having to pay half price, I paid half price. Like, hey, go pick a mini warmer, or go pick a wall fan, or I'm going to send you, or sometimes I will just say, you're going to get a mini fan and a pod. And I do that because anyone can go to Walmart or to wherever and buy the wax and cheat on us, but ain't no one cheating on us with no pods, okay? They have to come back to us. And if your customer service is there, they're going to continue to come back to you for those refills. So I like to now gift either a mini fan and pod or a wall fan and pod. Mini fan because it's cheaper.
I love that. That's freaking genius. So you guys, if you have questions for Shana, start adding them in the comments, but I have a question for you while we're waiting on that.
Okay.
So those days when you wake up and you're just like, I ain't doing it. Like, I just don't feel like it. I'm just in a funk. I'm in that place? Like, how do you fight that?
Oh, that's hard because sometimes I'm in it more than I'd like to admit. I kind of had a day like that yesterday. Maybe even a little this morning. I don't know what it is. Honestly, sometimes it's just different. Sometimes I just sit and I take the day off and I literally watch Netflix. I'm not even going to lie. I just kind of give myself a mental break. But my husband is very, we're both self-employed now. So we both work from home. So if we're not showing up, we ain't paying our bills. We ain't eating. We ain't doing the extra stuff that we want to do. We don't live like frivolously, but we have more financially than what we did in the past. And like, we like money, right? So I just think of, if I don't snap myself out of it, I'm not helping my team that day. I'm not providing that customer service for my customers. I think about the people that, I guess, when I walk into my office, I didn't always have this purple wall and all this extra stuff behind me. I worked out of my kitchen. So the house that we live in, fun fact, is the house that my husband grew up in. When his parents got a divorce, his dad bought his mom out, and we needed a new house. And his dad said, early inheritance, you can move in here. So we've been here, I don't know, gosh, 12, 13 years now, something like that. And so you can imagine it's an older home. We still have remodeling that we want to do. And this room right here, my desk is here, my husband's stuff is over there. We share an office. Well, we built this, and it's because of this business that we built it. So I wanted a purple wall, and you can't really tell, but it's got glitter in it too, because if you need glitter in your life, okay. So I wanted this stuff. It makes me happy when I come in here. It may not be as cute and home decor-ish as what some other people's offices are or what their displays are, but it's me. It's fun, it's bright, and it makes me happy. So when I come in here, I have to remember the blood, sweat, and tears that we put into building this wall and actually making this an actual room and giving us a hall, because it was just one big open space. So when I walk in here and I remember what we did and I remember our journey to get here, I have no choice but to just try to snap out of it. But he's very much a just do it. Like, what's your problem? Like, snap out of it. Like, you can do it. When I joined, I didn't have anyone showing me how to place that first order. I sat at the little corner desk in my kitchen and I cried real tears because I was overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. The person I did have in my upline to reach out to and ask, she acted like I was super annoying to her. And I remember sitting there crying, and Jason was like, why are you even crying? Like, you either figure out how to do it or you quit. Well, I'm not a quitter. So I figured out how to do it, and I've not stopped since. So when I do get in those down mindsets and I feel like I'm not worthy, or maybe I'm comparing myself to somebody else. And if you are doing that, comparison is a thief of joy. You just got to stop, because it'll keep your mindset in the gutter. You won't, it will hinder you from moving forward in this business. Slay in your own lane. Don't worry about what the other people are doing. And if you do get down, take a look around you and remember what you've done. Like, look back at your accomplishments. What have you accomplished in this business? What has this business proven to you? How have you become a better human? Because after all, that's what we're here for, is to help others. So if I'm down in the dumps, my team is not getting help. My team page is not being utilized. I'm not answering the questions. They need me and I need them. So I honestly, I come in here and I just sit down, and sometimes when I do get in here, I look around and realize how blessed I am to be able to live this life that I live now. And I kind of just snap out of it and I just do it. It doesn't always come that easy. And I know some people suffer worse than others. It's okay to have an off day. It's okay to be mad at the world, and it's okay to cry, but it is not okay to stay there. If you find yourself there, go look at motivational quotes. Save the stuff to your phone. and just look at them, because that, and for me personally, is enough to sometimes pull me out of it. Or call an accountability partner, have someone to be your accountability person. Shana is my person. We Marco all the time. If I will send her Marco Polo, I'm like, I need you to just do that. Like, tell me to stop worrying about this. And Miranda, she's one of my best friends. She's my frontline director. And we also have that relationship to where I can be like, hey, let's talk this out. You know, this is what I'm feeling. And she'd be like, you're amazing. Why are you even nervous about going on and training them? As soon as you start talking, everything's going to flow. You're going to be great. So it's just one of those things. Have someone in your corner that believes in you. I mean, that believes in you and can help you. And surround yourself with positive people. I've been friends with people where I thought we were friends, but we were not. No matter how it feels, no matter how much it hurts, if they're constantly negative and the only thing that you're doing, having conversations with people to where you're doing nothing but a gossip fest, quit. You got to get out of that. Like, it'll bring you down in a heartbeat, and you can't grow like that. So positive mindset, positive circle, find your circle of people that will lift you up when you need it. And then just remember why you started. Like, why did you start? Your why will change all the time. My why now is I financially provide for my family. I mean, my husband does too, but my job is to pay the bills for our house so my kid has food and electricity and water. That's my why. That keeps me going. My why is my team, to help them to be able to do the same thing. So that's, I guess, I know I kind of went off on a little tangent, but that's how I pull out of it.
That's totally the answer that I was looking for. Is like, first is, it's okay to take a day off. That's okay, and it's normal, and it's healthy. And short term, whatever gets you moving again. So the motivational quotes, for me, I have a playlist. Like, there's specific like playlist that just seems to like get me going again. Like, it's super inspiring to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then longer term is reevaluating your why, because if you're staying in that zone, your why isn't strong enough. So, I mean, that's exactly it. So,
and I know I've heard other leaders say this before, and I do think it's true. Like, if your why doesn't scare you and sometimes bring you to tears, and I don't mean like sad tears, but like positive, passionate, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually doing this tears, and you reevaluate your why. It needs to be something that will make you get up every single day. Like, I get to wake up every single day and I get to mentor my team. I get to work this ridiculously fun business, and never in a million years did I think 6 years ago when I hit that join button that I would be where I am today. And to me, because it's direct sales, it's multi-level marketing, it's a business that has a stigma because society tells us to look for jobs, not opportunity. So I never thought that I would be where I am, but it's because I learned to adapt that mindset of, you are worthy, you're capable, you can and you will do this. And I tell my team, it's on my welcome flyer, like, say you can and you will. Say you won't and you won't. Like, you just won't. So you have to just make sure that you're staying positive and you are believing in yourself every single day, even when you don't truly believe it. Sometimes I don't have all the confidence in the world, but that's normal. It just makes me human. You just have to show up and just do it, whether you're feeling it or not. Looks like there's
like answering Vanessa over there. I'm just like, I'm blown away. I'm a single mom, and I'd worked 3 jobs while going to school full time. And I earned my addiction studies certificate, which allowed me to work in the addiction field. I know that I was able to do that, so I can do anything.
That's amazing. And you know, here's the thing, like, we all have the same 24 hours in the day. My day is no longer than what your day is. So when I was working full time, we always volunteered with our youth basketball. My husband was the president. Got volunteering for youth sports. We volunteered for basketball and we ran, he was vice president for basketball. He was president for softball and baseball, which meant Shana would have to work 8 to 5, change clothes at the courthouse, go to the Sam's down the road, pick up all the concession food, drive straight to the ball fields, unload it all, and be there until 9:30, 10 o'clock every single night. And then Shana would come home and she would work her Scentsy business and go to bed at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, get up, go to work, and then I would do it all over again. Did it for years and years and years. I also put together our city Christmas parade and festival. So when I worked full time, I did all that and I built my business and it got me to where I am. We all have the same, again, it's a matter of mindset. Like, do you want to quit your job one day? I never truly believed I would be able to quit my job and actually do this full time, but our situation changed. And so it allowed me to do that. But you have the same 24 hours in the day that I do. If you want to go earn all the things, go earn all the things. You just have to figure out and put your effort into what you want to earn and just show up and do it. Like, I'm no different than you. You're no different than me. Like, you can do this. Everyone can do this. Single moms, single dads, you work full time, you work Scentsy part time, whatever. I mean, there's so many people in this business that have quit their full-time careers. You're Anna right here. I mean, everybody. So there's people out there it's living proof that this opportunity is literally in your hands. It's up to you. It's up to you what you do with it. So I guess that's all I have.
True. It is. It's what you do with it. Does anybody have any questions for Miss Shana? Yeah. While I'm waiting for if we have anybody who has anything to add. I'm gonna do a quick freebie. So if you're still here, comment with your name now. Okay. I already told myself I was going to pick the 5th person to comment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Michelle, you're our winner tonight. I'm going to send you a little freebie of a business material that I love from Amazon straight to you. So thank you for coming. Super happy you're here. All right. If anybody else has any questions or anything else they want to add, I am going to go ahead and say unmute yourself if you'd like to, if you want to say anything or her. Go ahead, Roseanne.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to talk over anybody.
No, you're good.
I can attest to those notes, sticky notes everywhere. Read them every day. Put that into your mindset. I can do anything. I'm a recruiting machine. I am enough. But I can attest to that mindset and change. It has changed my business, reading those every day. Motivational books, motivational podcasts, reading books. I don't really read books. I use Audible. So I am read too. But telling yourself that you are enough, you can do this, you're a recruiting machine, and also adding to the being burnt out and having to show up. Treat this like a real job. Even if you don't feel like it that day, I've had many of those days. There are days where I work my butt off and then I feel burnt out. Give yourself some grace and take some time off. Take a day off. It's okay to give yourself grace, but don't let your grace continue on 2 or 3, 4 days. But give yourself some grace, and then it's a psyche kind of thing. Once you give yourself grace, Okay, I'm ready again. Let's get this rolling again. But I love the Post-its. I do that all the time, and they really do help.
Post-its are my friend.
Girl, I bought the Costco pack, and if anyone went to SFR with me, Aubrey, you know they're freaking everywhere because I love them. Positive affirmation is the shit. And yeah, I got that on recording. Don't care because it's true. Oh, thanks, Roseanne. Thanks for sharing. Thanks to everybody for coming. Does anybody have anything else they want to say? You good?
Michelle says her office looks like a rainbow of Post-its.
Girl, yes.
Rosie, thank you.
Thanks, Cassie.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Well, thanks for coming. And thank you, Shana. I just love the heck out of you. I just wish I could squeeze you. Miss ya. So thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate
You're
y'all.
more than welcome to stay as part of the team page and hang out. We'd love to have you. And I appreciate you. And you did great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I had fun with you guys.
All right. Well, everybody have a good night. Get lots of rest, especially if you're in CST. I know it's late, so get some rest. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right. Bye.